I'm Jamie and I am an admin on Open Adoption Open Heart on Facebook, and we have actually decided to branch out and start a vlog so that we can talk about open adoption and what it does for us in our home, the joy that it brings, as we have two beautiful children who came to us through the beauty of open adoption. And it's drastically changed our life. It's given us parenthood, it's given us love, it's brought us joy, and just so much peace and comfort, and also progression. And with our son, he's 2.5 years old, and he is such a joy. You'll meet him. He'll be on some of these videos as well. With his birth mom, we actually don't have a lot of physical contact because she lives so far away. She lives in Mississippi and we live in Idaho, so there's a drastic distance there. And she usually comes about once a year, and she stays with us, and we absolutely love it. We have been able to find such a beautiful balance, and we celebrate the roles that we share, and we're able to sustain each other. Now, aside from visitations, since there's only once a year, we definitely had a lot of phone call, well, mostly texting, but we do have some phone call, like updates, different things like that. I have a blog specifically for our birth families so that they get to see pictures, and also other updates regarding like doctor's appointments and milestones and other things that they're doing currently in their day-to-day activities. Now, to talk about our son's birth father, it's a little more delicate. We actually don't have any contact with him, physical or virtual. It's a tough situation where we tried to reach out to him, and he wasn't in a place in his life where he felt he could do that. And that's okay, we completely respect that. So we've kind of let those ties go. We hope that someday in the future, that maybe he will want to have that contact, because he really truly is missing out on such a beautiful little boy. And so only time will tell where that relationship develops, but we are open-minded, and we feel like that relationship could be very healthy. But of course it's got to be two-sided. So at this point we don't have any contact with him, unfortunately. Now with our daughter's story, it's drastically different. Her birth mom lives about 15 minutes away from us. Up until this point, our daughter's now 11 months old. I can't believe she's going to be a year next month. It just goes by so quickly. Up until this point, her birth mom has come every couple of weeks to see her and to see us. And so there's been a lot of contact. I feel like it's exactly right for this relationship. Because I've been able to watch her heal and grow through it, and we've healed and grown through it. It is a wonderful, beautiful thing. I wouldn't recommend it for everyone. That much contact can be kind of overwhelming, but for us it was right. And I had processed so many emotions in the first adoption that this time I just kind of got to sit back and just support her and her journey. And it was just different for me. I didn't experience the level of intensity, so it wasn't hard to see my daughter in her arms. It was joyous. It was fun to celebrate their similarities, which in the first adoption it was a little bit harder to do that. So our level of openness there is great. There is a change that's taking place currently. We've realized that for the last 11 months of our lives, of our journey together, that adoption has kind of ran our hearts and our minds and our thoughts. And so we have decided to take a 6 months break to evaluate, to see what kind of structure we want to place into our relationship as far as visitations go. This is something that we've talked, and there's a unity there. It's not something that she feels like we're pulling away from her, because she knows she's part of the family. She's stuck. She's never, we're not going anywhere. We want her in our lives. It's just creating that balance of what's too much and what's perfect, what's too little, what's perfect. Like, you just have to find that balance of what doesn't consume you, because you have to move forward. Even as an adoptive couple, you have to move forward in your journey and find a balance so that you can move on and be a solid family. We feel like there is a balance being created, and I think this is going to be a wonderful thing. At the end of 6 months, we'll talk and decide if we need to do less than 6 months in between visits or if we need to go longer. Whatever is best for both sides of the progression. I placed that on her so that she could decide how long the distance is, and she chose 6 months. I never wanted to choose that myself, as I feel like in our relationships, I want our birth moms to never feel like they don't have any control of what's going on, because then resentment comes in. I want them to always know that we care about them and how they feel, and it's not at our expense either. It's just there's a very united balance. So with our daughter's birth dad, he lives about 4 to 5 hours away from us. So we've been able to see him 3 times in the last 11 months, and we've loved every second of it. We usually have him set up the visits as to who he wants there. In our first visit, there was 15 to 20 people, birth relatives of our daughter there, and it was awesome. They made us very welcome. It was just a beautiful visit. We felt like family instantly, and they embraced both of our children. The next visit, it was just at a restaurant, that kind of thing, and we actually plan to see him next month. And I just kind of see how the level of openness continuing like that. Not a whole lot of boundaries, just we don't get to see each other very often, so it's when we can. But that contact will never subside. He is a big part of our life, and we're so grateful for birth fathers and for all that they represent and all that they do in supporting us. He is a wonderful support to us and sustains us fully, and we're so grateful for him in our lives and for all the joy that we've been able to see in his eyes as he's been able to hold and love our daughter that we share together, and it's just been a joyous occasion. We're so grateful for that level of openness. We always wanted our children to choose the relationship they have with their birth families, and that's why we chose open adoption. We feel like too much contact could take that decision away from them, that we would be making it for them, and then also we feel like too little contact, they wouldn't be able to make that decision. So as parents, we're trying to make the balance of an open adoption so that when it comes time for our children to choose what type of relationship they have with their birth families, that the doors will always be open to them. So this is our daughter, and she decided she's going to help me for the last bit because she just woke up from her nap. So I actually don't worry about the relationship between our birth families and our little children, and that's because of our level of open adoptions, because I know them. I know their birth parents. I know the influences they'll be. I know who they are as people and their loyalties to us, and only through an open adoption do I know that. And so I'm actually really, really grateful in that piece, because it gives me a sense of peace. I don't have those anxieties or those worries. I have such a deep relationship with these women and with her birth dad. And it's deeper than most relationships. Like, there's so much trust, there's so much compassion for one another. And I'm just so grateful that Heavenly Father has sustained us so fully, that I don't have those worries, that we're a team of unity. And I love watching my children develop a relationship with their birth families. There's room for all of us. All of us. Huh? Is there room for all of us? Where'd you go? Where's your cute smile? Where's your cute smile? So no, to answer the question, I actually don't worry about it. I don't. It's just a fun journey that we're all trying to figure out, but we're figuring it out together, and that's most important. For is that I pray a ton, and I do care about these relationships so desperately, and I know that my Heavenly Father, that God, He He sustains righteous desires, and I'm so grateful that He sustained our relationships and have made them whole, that we've been able to find a balance where we don't hit heads, but that we are united, that we pull together. And sometimes we have to talk about the hard things, but it just becomes that much more beautiful when we can get through those things. I'm so grateful for adoption, as I have two beautiful children that are joyous. Their sense of humor and their love for each other and their love for us is beautiful. They love their birth families, and I'm so grateful that that didn't have to go away with choosing adoption for these beautiful kids, that they can still have that contact, that love, and that relationship. And our kids adore their birth